Is the age of the co-founder dead? And what I mean by that is when I look at the history of really interesting technical startups that were built, you know, Bill Gates had Paul Allen as co-founder. Steve Jobs had, Woz as his co-founder over here. There's endless examples, when Google had two co-founders. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg was the main founder, but there were other three or four other people that were like had the co-founder titles with them. And one of the things I realized looking at startups is really, you know, let's take Microsoft for example. I think Bill Gates would have been Bill Gates, but I don't think Paul Allen would have been Paul Allen without Bill Gates. It's almost like one of those things like Batman is Batman, but Robin wouldn't be Robin without Batman. And one of the things I'm finding very interesting is in today's world of AI, where you can prototype something, scale something to a decent level before, and get a significant amount of funding after it. Whereas in the past, you really needed a team to do that or a co-founder who was technical who could focus all their time on building something while you were, you know, working really hard on scaling, your network, scaling the business, scaling venture dollars. Those days might be over here. There's a lot of talk in the press about the future of the solo founder, and there's going to be a solo founder that or the one person startup that's going to become $1 billion company. Will that happen? I don't know. I still am a big believer in teams, but I also do think that the world of multiple co-founders might be a lot less today and tomorrow than it was in the past, thanks to AI. And a lot of the ways I looked at the past is, you always had an alpha, and 49 Alpha is the name of this brand over here, but you always had an alpha that was building the business, the driver of the business, and then you had the beta, who I would really call the technical person who was building the beta, building the first version point one of the product over here, and that has played quite well throughout history. There's a lot of case studies of it. Microsoft, Oracle, Apple are really great examples where you have the alpha and the beta over here from the founder standpoint. And I really do think in the future, a lot of the alphas will decide that, hey, I don't need to be waiting for that beta over here. I need to be, really just going out and building because I have all the tools to build it now and then scale it from there. So expect to see quite a lot of that happening in the future where I think a lot of teams that would normally 20 years ago be two founder companies will become one founder companies. I won't be surprised if we see that a lot more in the future.